often during the humanitarian aid program on the front line, I realize something for myself. And here I would like to share some insights with you. All my close friends know that I am really emotional person, stressed person. But during these missions to the front line, I realized something. No matter how good you are prepared for this trip, how good you plan this trip, but during this trip, everything could happen. Everything, mostly something when you go to the front line, because we have war, so you never can be sure for everything. So what I realized that we just need to adapt to changes, just adapt to changes and keep doing our work. The most very important thing is to be, so your mind must be cool. So cool down and do your job. Even if you, by the trip, you have some trouble, so try to fix them. If you can't fix them, just find another way to your mission, like that. Just find another way to your mission, because you just need to get your mission. The second story I will tell you helped me to realize that you don't need to be hero for whole the world. It's enough to be hero even for one person, because what I realized that even one life matter for us. Back in 2022, we got Christmas presents from the YMCA Scotland. So we decided to deliver them to the frontline cities, not cities, sorry, villages in Kherson region, to the small communities, because not a lot of volunteers going there. And plus there was destroyed roads. So our team decided that for us, it would be important to get to these villages, communities. When we came to these communities, for them was more important, even attention was more important, that we give our time for them, we speak with them, than we just give them some goods. Especially we get some friends with some village, and there was one family with 12 and 14 years old. And after we came home, they call us and ask, could you deliver for us books? I say, what type of books? They say, we need to study our kids because our school library is destroyed and there was no internet. They need to get to end of the village to find some net to call for us. So our team and YMCA Volyn, we start to gathering these books, and we found the way how to send them. And our volunteer in Kherson supposed to deliver them Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning. But unfortunately, same Sunday morning, the Russian missile get in the house and all the family dies. Only children stays alive. So we was really shocked, and we try to help as much as we can. And we visit them in hospital. We help them to to transfer them to west side of Ukraine, to them relatives. So, and also we help them to provide to YMCA summer camps, YMCA summer camps of in Volyn, which called in English, "You Are Not Alone." So we regularly keep in touch with all these communities. As example, just 2 weeks ago, we came back from the Kherson region, from this villages, different type of villages. We bring them presents from YMCA Finland. We also give them the water filters from Unlocking Community, and also some presents from Volyn community. Local people was really happy just to see us, because we make some communication, we have the contact, so we have some relationship. And on the way back, our team, we decided to find the opportunity to send this just at least 10 kids to summer camps, to get these kids from the front line to a safer place, so they could relax a little bit from this situation. So to sum up, I realized that focusing and working with small local communities help to make stronger connection, so we can get stronger impact. In the end, we will keep going, we'll keep working until Ukraine will win. So it's 100%. It's no doubt. In meantime, by the way, I inviting you to visit Ukraine during the war or after the war. I will be happy to organize you some tours in different cities and regions, so you can see how beautiful are Ukraine. So you can learn about more about the war, what's happening, about our culture. So you can get real Ukrainian spirit. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hey there, my name is Dima, and I'm a volunteer at YMCA Zdolbuniev. On February 21st, 2022, at 5 in the morning, I heard the sounds of explosions. At first, I thought it was a joke of some sort, or someone had an intense celebration with lots of fireworks. But then the explosions were followed with some more.
Dima, you are muted.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I just, yeah. Hey there, my name is Dima, and I'm a volunteer at YMCA Zdolbuniev. On February 24th of 2022, at 5 in the morning, I woke up to the sounds of explosions. At first, I thought it was a celebration of some sort or just a joke. Someone was launching lots of fireworks. But then the explosion was followed with some more, and then I realized those were the sounds of war. After some brief consideration, me and my mom and I decided to flee our city, which is located in the central part, to the western part, to a small town called Stolbuniev. It was a horrible 24-hour long ride, and which would usually take up to 4 hours only. This day was filled with confusion. My brain just turned on the protection mode, and I couldn't comprehend the whole situation at first. Then, on the morning of the following day, I woke up in the morning at my grandparents' house, and I can clearly remember that my mom said Kyiv is being bombed by Russians. And then I finally understood the whole situation. The first few months in a foreign city were very depressing for me, as most of my friends either stayed in my hometown or fled Ukraine to either Poland or Germany, and I was completely alone in a foreign city with no one to talk to. And then my mom came up to me and suggested me to actually give a try to YMCA's youth club. And at first, I was very skeptical about it because most of the teenagers in my generation look down on such events, as they don't really need to search for a friend. They have formed their friend groups in their early childhood, in the kindergarten, or at school, so it's useless for them. But my case was completely different, so I had to give it a try. And was it awesome? I was finally able to talk to someone, to have lots of love, and I met some great people with whom I spent the summer. And the summer was actually awesome. Despite the ongoing war, I could finally live a normal life of some sort. So I spent these 3 months of summer just great. And in the autumn of the following year, YMCA, the head staff of local YMCA has believed in me enough to suggest me to start in an English speaking club. It was a great opportunity for me to also not to forget the English language itself, as if you don't practice, you'll forget it eventually. And it was a great distraction. And was it great? Because I didn't know that I love teaching. It was a great experience showing me my new strengths and my new skills. Then, when life seemed to be almost normal, Russians started bombing power plants, which soon led to electricity outages. And basically, it means that a few times in a day, each day of the week, you have some hours without electricity at all. So while I had nothing to do indoors, I would just go to the YMCA, to either youth club or English speaking club, which was a great distraction, not only for me, but for the participants, which could spend sometimes in a safe space with tea and cookies. And we actually had lots of power banks here. So we had lights, and also, as I said, we had hot tea and cookies. And then I had another mission in my local YMCA. I started a computer literacy course for middle-aged people who lost their jobs due to the ongoing war situation, and they needed new skills to get new jobs. And I was able to provide them with enough information and skills for them to add more skills to their resumes and actually apply for new jobs. And I was very happy as I could help not only myself, but other people to improve their life. And to sum up, in the darkest times of my life, YMCA saved me and brought back happiness and hope. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Zoriana and I've been volunteering for YMCA for more than 8 years now. During the last couple of months, I'm working in one of the YMCA projects, which is called Y-Space. I would like to tell you more about this one. This project is implemented with the help of YMCA Europe and includes 5 local YMCAs across Ukraine. The main goal of the project is to create a space for people who were affected by war, such as internally displaced people, veterans, students, also locals, so they can learn new skills which will help them to find a new job and become more in demand for employment. With such an approach, we created an educational space on the basis of our organization. During the first stages of the project implementation, we noticed that participants are still in undefined emotional state, which can negatively influence their ability to develop professionally. So we decided to include mental health support as it influences general well-being and the participants willing to learn. Over this time, the team successfully organized courses such as English course, mental health support workshops, social media marketing course, photo course, basic digital skills, as well as active leisure time activities and stretching. The project helped us to build and strengthen our partnerships with local authorities, universities, other non-governmental organizations, and in general, we became much more recognizable in the city. Among the key achievements, I also want to highlight the network opportunity. We have a lot of students who are visiting us weekly, and I believe we managed to create a safe space where everyone feels included, as some of the students already joined our local YMCA as volunteers. And also through the mental health support, hard and soft skills courses, we are leading people to job search and self-realization in professional life. We can already see changes in our participants, as some of them are finally ready to start their new professional chapter, and some of them even already found a job. It's not only participants who changed, actually. The team working in the hub, including me, noticed a significant professional growth. And we are not planning to stop on that. So there is much more to come, and we have a lot much work to do.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aliona, and I'm the Y-Hub coordinator from YMCA Boyarka. What I wanted to tell, it's very hard to express in words how you really feel when one day you get up and realize that your normal life has been ruined totally. by a really huge power that you cannot control anyhow. And when the full-scale Russian invasion started 2 years ago, all the Ukrainians felt so miserable that it's really not easy to express by any words, in fact, and how we felt them. But some people like us in YMCA Boyarka decided not to fall down and to keep working to help those people who lost their homes because of the war and had to flee to safer places. We started our YHub program, and here we saw the miracle. Thanks to the help of our friends from other YMCAs, we could make lives of a lot of people much better. In our YHub space, we started to provide mental health and educative activities to those who became internally displaced people because of Russian aggression and came to Boyarka to start their new lives here. And as well to the members of our local community, because war changes lives of people very much. Enterprises are being closed, and some people cannot continue their lives like it was before. And it was so exciting to see the results of these people. When you see the eyes of a woman who was very much stressed after moving from her home, I would say she was even depressed because her son was on war. Her son was struggling for Ukraine. And then in the end, when she finally passed our mental health program, mentorship program, and she found the wished job, it is like a real treasure when you see it. And a man, for example, who was depressed so much that he was even telling about committing suicide, and then he managed to improve his psychological state, to recover his documents, to close his fines, and finally to find a job. It's really great. As well, a group of students from the schools, which you can see now on the photos, they decided to enter our educative program, and they gained like a kind of basic business skills. In fact, the skills which they would not have gained ever before starting real work. But now in our YHub, they had an opportunity to try themselves like local business and entrepreneurs. Like they now know how to conduct negotiations with suppliers, with clients, and so far and so on. So they like started and like tried themselves as entrepreneurs, and they know how to do it. And when you hear all people's positive feedbacks and see their success stories, you understand that it's really worth doing, even though you have a huge risk to be killed by a Russian missile one day. It's still worth doing. And we are very happy to have such a great support from our friends all over the world, from our other YMCAs, and especially Accenture company, who gave us all these great possibilities and helped us so much for being able to make This all help real. Thank you so much for all you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Alona. And I know that Pavlo is back, so I would like to hand over to him so he can finish sharing his insights. Pavlo?
Yeah, sorry, I had some troubles with my connection, but I'm back. So overall, I just wanted to share my personal story about the war and the YMCA. After returning back to Ukraine, I had an opportunity to become a camp leader at YMCA Volyn Children Camp. There were half of the kids with a hard life situation. And in the middle of the camp, one girl in my group suffered from a war-related family tragedy. It was during the camp that that girl's life had turned upside down. And that moment that I realized that being a leader in a YMCA is in Ukraine is much more than being a leader in a home country. You need to be super empathetic, super much more effort it requires. And in Ukraine, we are super leaders, and I'm proud of that. If I talk and think about how the YMCA has changed during the war, I have nothing but kind of warm words to say. From small offices to huge spaces, from a completely volunteer-based organization to high quality and professional space specialists. Personally, I'm very pleased that now, with my professional growth, I have the opportunity to provide quality informal education, write large projects, and lead them. I'm very grateful to the YMCA for all the opportunities, and I'm sure there will be more. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavlo. Thank you, everyone, for sharing and for that incredible work that each of you does every day. I'm really honored to be in one organization with you. And for those of you present with us today, if you would like to support this incredible work, we would also like to share a picture with a QR code that you can scan and support this work with donations as well. And I also got the message that Viktor Serbolov is back with us. So I would like now to give the floor to Viktor, Secretary General of YMCA Ukraine.
Thank you. Dear international friends, the war against Ukraine is going on for 2 years already, and the end of it is not seen yet. Millions of people are suffering. 21 local YMCAs in Ukraine are continuing their activities even in these very challenging conditions. For 2 years, we have reached around 200,000 people in need. Just now, you have heard and seen wonderful life stories of the young volunteers and leaders of the YMCA Ukraine. They are doing extraordinary work, assisting people affected by the war. On behalf of the YMCA Ukraine, I would like to express sincere, big thank you for your solidarity and great support to Ukraine, Ukrainians, and the YMCA Ukraine. Please be with us, stay with us, continue to support us. Together we will overcome. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Viktor. Thank you to everyone sharing their insights from Ukraine. And now, as we all know, because of the war, many people from Ukraine had to flee their homes. And it was remarkable to see.
I'm gonna find it. I remember.
Thank you. It was remarkable to see how many YMCAs around the world have reacted immediately and have started so many great initiatives and projects to support them. Today, we will hear about some of these initiatives, and I'm happy to give the floor to Marina Storozhuk, who is from Ukraine herself, but she had to move to Slovakia because of the war. And now she is working for the YMCA there, for the hub in Bratislava. She's working with Ukrainian kids, and for a few months now, she is also helping YMCA Europe with finances of Ukrainian projects. Marina, I give the floor to you.
Thank you, Victoria. Hello, everyone. My name is Marina, originally from Ukraine. As Victoria told, I moved to Slovakia due to the war in my country. For the past 2 years, I have been dedicated to working with Ukrainian children in kindergarten at the YMCA hub in Bratislava. And just 6 months ago, I was offered the incredible opportunity in YMCA Europe to support the finance department for Ukrainian projects. I'm truly grateful for the chance to work alongside my YMCA colleagues and to be a part of such a supportive and inspiring community. The people I have met here have had a profound impact on me, and I cannot imagine my life without them. This experience has been invaluable and enriching. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of something truly special. Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. And now let's hear from Saskia Marks, who is working for YMCA Bavaria in Germany, and she will share a few more things about the work they do with people from Ukraine.
Yes, hello everyone. So after the beginning of the invasion, the YMCA Bavaria has initiated a program for Ukrainian refugees, which has started in May 2022. And within these 2 years, we have started several new programs tailored to the needs of the Ukrainians. And we also invited Ukrainians to the programs that are already existing in the YMCA. So I will tell you about some of our programs. For example, we have created the program One for Another. You can also see the women that are joining our program in the picture. And in the program, the women from Ukraine give each other support and share their experiences, feelings, and talents. And the program also offers art and theater therapy and workshops on topics like personal brand, leadership, and also job search. And then for elderly people, we have started the program called Cooking Bar. We recognize that learning a new language is a bit more difficult for elder people, so it's a challenge for them to meet and connect with German people their age. So at the Cooking Bar, people with the age of 55 years or more from Ukraine and from Germany meet, and they cook together, they speak German, and they learn more about each other's cultures and also about traditional dishes. Also, not long ago, we created a new program for Ukrainian teenagers, and it's called the Teen Circle. And there, young people from Ukraine between the ages of 13 and 17 come together to do creative projects, also cook delicious food or play different kinds of games. And the focus of this program is on creating a cozy atmosphere and also a safe space for youth to spend the time together and to relax after school. So we are also very happy that we had the chance to organize a mental health camp 2 times for leaders of Ukrainian YMCAs here in Bavaria and Germany. And in addition to our regular offers, we also invite the participants of our programs to other YMCA events, like the YMCA Bavaria summer camps, or also the Christmas and New Year celebrations of the local YMCA in Nuremberg. We also invite the Ukrainian people to the language cafe of the YMCA Nuremberg. So the language cafe provides an opportunity to practice the German language together. And after this program, everyone can join the Contact Cafe to enjoy the company of each other, to drink coffee together, play board games, or also to just have conversations. Another local YMCA, so the YMCA in Munich, also offers programs for people from Ukraine. And their project mainly focuses on creating a safe space for Ukrainian youth and to give them a career guidance by talking about future professions. And another important aspect is the goal to unite people from Ukraine in Munich and to provide them with useful skills and introduce them to the local YMCA community in Munich. So yeah, that was a short summary of the projects that we are doing in Bavaria together with Ukrainian refugees. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saskia, for sharing. Our next speaker is Irina Berdzinishvili. She is a part of YMCA Europe Roots for Peace team, and she will share with us about the Camp Europe initiative.
Hello, everyone. As Victoria mentioned, I am Irina. I am from YMCA Europe Roots for Peace team. And today I want to talk about Camp Europe, but I already see some people who were involved in the pilot phase. So I'm happy to be talking about this with you. So Camp Europe is one of the biggest large-scale and long-term projects initiated by YMCA Europe. And it aims to build resilience in people, and especially young people who are from conflict countries, especially from Ukraine. And in 2023, we launched the pilot phase of the project within the YMCA Europe Roots for Peace project. And it was very successful. It involved 9 countries, 16 projects altogether, and it involved around 800 people, even more. And as I already mentioned, I see some people who were already involved in this pilot phase, and it was a great success. But that's not all. In January 2024, it was officially approved that Camp Europe will be ongoing for the next 3 years, and we are aiming to have at least 10 camps per year. And apart from the camps, we will also have annual capacity conferences, which will be organized in order to increase capacities of the beneficiary organizations with our know-how and networking. And I know you will hear more about capacity, but one thing I wanted to share is that this year we will be having capacity in Spain. And here I have the QR code to the call for participants, which you can scan and register. It's still open, so take your chance, participate in it. And one last thing that I want to mention about Camp Europe is that our team has successfully managed to secure a large fund of 400,000 euros from Bread for the World Germany, but we still need 200,000 more co-funding. And despite of the fact that we are on such a good track for getting this co-funding, we would still like to invite you to get in touch with us, get in touch with the team in case you are open for collaboration. So this was very short summary of Camp Europe, what we did last year, what happened during the pilot phase. So keep checking our webpage for the information during the following projects and months. So thank you.
Thank you, Irina. Great pictures and great work. And I'm delighted to introduce Adriana Stanovic, Director, Global Equity Initiatives and Leadership, YUSA. Adriana.
Thank you so much, Victoria. So thank you to everyone who has shared the stories and all the work that's happening. We know we've heard from many European countries. We are an ocean apart, but we are still with the Ukrainian people and all the YMCAs that are working with Ukrainian internally displaced people and refugees. So wanted to share a bit about our collaboration as well and what we've been doing in the United States. So as we've mentioned before, we also launched a World Service Ukraine Response Appeal right when the war started. Since then, we've raised over $3 million for the humanitarian response. And thank you. I see many World Service donors and supporters on the call from the United States. None of this would have been possible without you. We have over 1,000 people that have been involved in the campaign and have contributed. We also have local YMCAs in the United States that have been working with Ukrainian refugees that are in the United States now, fewer than in Europe, but certainly we have a good amount. And many of our YMCAs in the US have worked with Ukrainian families in camps, in their communities, and helping them connect and integrate into their new communities. We also are doing quite a bit around camp especially, and I know Irina mentioned some, so I'll share and add a bit more detail. When we asked YMCA Europe and YMCA Ukraine, what more can we do to connect and to support? As you've heard, camp has been a really transformational space for so many young people and families that are struggling with so many things outside of their control. But if the YMCA can do one thing well, it's bringing people together in a place where they can connect and feel a sense of belonging. So we started to build some intentional bridges between some of our US camp networks and leaders and connecting with YMCAs in Europe and Ukraine and those that are working with Ukrainian refugees that are running camps. So this last year, just reflecting on the last 12 months, we brought a group, an international group, to one of our regional camping conferences. It was only 7 people, and there was so much energy and so much learning on both sides. Many of our US leaders learned from our European leaders and vice versa. There was a desire to do more, to have something bigger even. And in March of last year, we organized the first Campacity in the United States, which brought together about 40 camp leaders from the United States and from a variety of countries, including Ukraine, Romania, Slovakia, Georgia, Spain, Netherlands, many of the countries you heard from today. And there was so much energy and momentum in focusing on workshops around how we work around supporting mental health of campers, best practices, program innovation, camp management, all of these different pieces where we can share the experience we have from the US, but also learn so much about the innovative ways that YMCA Ukraine and others that are running camp are adapting to their challenging contexts. So as Irina mentioned, there's another initiative, and that has continued to build, and congratulations to YMCA Europe for securing funds. We are also participating from the US in the Campacity that will be hosted by YMCA Spain in April. And the focus, as Irina mentioned, is really to continue to build this network of learning and sharing through camp and providing different opportunities for leaders to grow and to use these connections and the global network that is so rich to deepen our impact on both sides of the ocean. So this event will be another opportunity to connect and to have a touch point, but from the US, we remain committed. We know it's 2 years in, and it can feel discouraging to have things go on longer than we thought. We know that international attention is decreasing, and we just want you to know that we're with you in solidarity, and we remain committed as part of our YMCA network to support and connect in the ways that we're able. So thank you so much to everyone on this call for all the amazing work that you're doing. And we continue to be inspired by you, and we'll share your story where we can. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adriana. Thank you for your solidarity and for your commitment. With us today is the World YMCA Secretary General. Let's welcome Carlos Sanve.
Thank you, Victoria. Dear friends, 2 years ago, when this started, I never imagined that 2 years after we will still be in this situation. First, we never imagined that this could happen. We thought it will be avoided because we trust on humanity, we trust on the goodwill of all the people. And then when it happened, we thought it would be a few days, but 2 years down the line, we are still here. Why? Why can we in this 21st century see that an independent country could be invaded by another one? And then 2 years, this continue with what we know as despair and devastation. The human being, we know all the experience in the past to tell us that the war is never a solution. There is not a single problem that have been solved by war, by guns and missile. At the end of the day, people talk and find it peaceful. So it's painful for all of us, especially in the YMCA, to see this is happening again. And this war with a heavy toll for our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Family destroys, landscape destroy, everything we see in the television. But even though we are seeing that every time we are hearing, we are learning about that, we cannot understand what we are going through, our Ukrainian brother and sister. We cannot comprehend everything. Even myself, I've been through war situation, I've been through all those situations, but each situation is different. So I could not comprehend everything. But I want you to know that we hear you, we feel your pain, we feel all you are going through. It's very difficult, we cannot comprehend it, but you are not on notice. We feel you and we hear you. And I want to thank the YMCA Ukraine that despite everything, you are still working. You are still keeping the hope alive for the community, for the young people. We are so amazed by what you have been achieving. And I also want to thank all the YMCA across the world. We just hear all those stories, everything that is going, all those initiatives. With YMCA Europe coordinating all the effort, the YMCA movement raise up as one person and provide support. Is it enough? No, the needs are still there, and we should continue to provide the support. We should continue to gather ourselves to make sure that whenever the support is needed, we'll be there. As a global YMCA family, what is important for us is that we are one organization. We are one family across the world, and we have demonstrated. And our job is to keep hope alive. We should keep the hope for peace alive. And in this journey for hope, no one should be left behind. We should make sure that all the people, all the organizations of goodwill are part of it. And that's the YMCA. We are the space where we keep the hope alive all the time. And our history taught us that when it comes to being a bridge between torn community, the YMCA is the very last standing. And we should aim at standing to be a beacon of hope and peace, because we are a peace movement. Again, our prayers and our real good prayers is that a solution is found very soon. A solution that is a peace with justice, a solution that is not imposed on anyone, because this is what is going to be the lasting solution for us. Once again, I want to thank you for all you are doing, for the people who are going through this difficult moment, and you are not alone. We are on your side, but let's continue the unity of this movement. Let's hold our hand to make sure that this world is a just, sustainable, equitable, and inclusive world for all. And I thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. I am pleased to hand over to Emma Osmundsen, the president of YMCA Europe.
Thank you, Victoria, and thank you, Carlos, for those fabulous words as well. And really hearing from everyone today illustrates, as ever, the real family nature of YMCA Europe and the World Alliance and our global YMCA family. And despite the devastation of what we have been witnessing, some of you been experiencing in Ukraine, the conflict has continued to be a unifying event for us as a global movement. And of course, we shouldn't be surprised, because our great global movement has a huge history and tradition when it comes to the world of uprootedness. If we think back to World War II, when both the YMCA and the YWCA provided personnel, supplies, they conducted activities for both recreational, educational, cultural and spiritual benefits. For at the time they were ex-prisoners of wars and also for displaced persons. The YMCA at the time were there in the refugee camps, as we have been in terms of assisting refugees coming from Ukraine. And at that time, they learned to really focus on working together and supporting displaced persons and providing them with the help and assistance. They learned that cooperation was more important than buildings, and imagination was the best equipment. And so we've become so familiar really with the YMCA way, the way in which we provide ongoing help and support to our young people and their communities. And back in the 1930s, 1940s, it was written at the time of that YWMC and YMCA work that the secret lay in the vitality and initiative of those in the field who did their work day after day with courage, good humour, patience and imagination. And we're seeing that now. We've seen it over the last 2 years, how we've all come together, working day after day, retaining our courage, our good humour, patience and imagination. And what the conflict in the Ukraine has really shown us is the way in which it's proved to be a catalyst for greater collaboration, partnership and joint working, which has extended into new projects and initiatives, and many of those we've heard about this afternoon. And it's pretty phenomenal when you look at the stats and facts of what we've achieved over the last 2 years. And it's a real credit to the immense contributions, commitment and the ongoing care that all of you have provided and your networks. We've had over 30 countries involved in helping and supporting some of the projects that we've seen this afternoon. We've had over 130 projects and activities that have been delivered, providing impact for over 360,000 beneficiaries. And as we've seen, the level of fundraising has been phenomenal. 1.8 million euros raised to date, with over €1 million of gifts in kind through consultancy and external partnerships. And what has been really exciting to see is some of those longer term projects that have been developed and funded, such as the Refugee Skilling and Support Project, and of course the Camp Europe initiative, where we've already heard about that they've hosted 16 summer camps in 9 countries, and they're committing themselves to 10 camps a year. These are fantastic projects that will go on and continue to support people, but also benefit people across Europe, and as we heard, now in America as well. And as we sadly move into a 3rd year of conflict, we will maintain those close relationships and partnerships, and we will ensure that we continue to give ongoing support to YMCA Ukraine. Of course, as Carla says, we remain hopeful for peace, and we continue to strengthen our strategy of movement strengthening in Ukraine in order to ensure that we can support and ensure its longer term viability across the whole of the country. We will, of course, continue with our fundraising endeavours and continue enriching those partnerships that we established with Accenture, HP, and of course with YMCA USA in particular. We continue to work as a YMCA Europe family to support the integration of refugees in cooperation with our national movements. So may I take this opportunity this afternoon to thank you and everyone for your immense help, support and commitment to our response to Ukraine. I remain in awe of your own vitality and initiative and the way that you work day after day with courage, good humour, patience and imagination. So may God bless you, your people and the communities in which you serve in across Ukraine, across Europe and across the rest of the world YMCA movement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you to everyone. Today was really inspiring to hear all of the stories, and thank you so much for all the support. We haven't seen any questions, but if you want to ask them, we leave the emails here, so you can email them later on to get all the answers. And I must say that for us in Ukraine, the war started 10 years ago, back in 2014. But on Saturday, this will be already 2 years of the full-scale invasion. And we would like to invite you all to join us in praying for Ukraine on February 24th. Here is the QR code. If you scan it, it will lead you to the YouTube page. And if you click on the bell, it will notify you when we'll meet. It's organized by Unify, and it will be a pleasure to see you all there to pray for Ukraine together. And as we conclude this meaningful conversation we had today, I would like us all today also to take a moment for a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here, representing diverse nations and hearts, joined in concern for Ukraine, we turn to you, the source of strength and peace. We ask you to uphold people in Ukraine, strengthen their spirits, comfort those who are suffering. May your light shine upon the land, bringing hope and healing. Lord, bless people present here. May your peace reign in our hearts and guide us as we work together for a world where justice, compassion, and understanding prevail. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll keep all the good work and we will stay connected as YMCA. Thank you. Have a nice evening and see you all. Goodbye.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.